What up, y'all? It's your boy DJklzownJones. Remember the name. Remember you lame. Beatz N BItz Podcast. All mission 3. Talking about Meek Mill's appeal. Tyrese on appeals. Nocis being in Tekken 7. And what else, man? I don't even remember what I put down for the topics, man. But yeah, man. So Meek Mill's appeal, man. Like I said, I don't know how to feel about Meek in his situation right now. I feel like I just feel like it's important for folks to stay out of jail when you get breaks, especially when you young, rich and famous, and you get break at the break. These people ain't playing with you. You feel me? So I can't really feel sorry. I want Meek Mill to be out. I don't want him to be in jail. He got kids. You know, he got millions of fans out there. You know what I'm saying? I support him as an MC, but I don't support him, you know, as a criminal. You know what I'm saying? And the case, the cases that he had against him, like once he started getting money, you know, you got to make a choice. You know, Gucci said in his book, Pimp C, rest in peace, they all said, like, when you get to a certain point, you got to grow up and understand that, you know, the things that you're doing aren't conducive for you to get some money, or aren't conducive for you to get to that sack. So you got to change them things. You can't bring that mentality from the streets over to the industry and over to being an upstanding citizen. And once you understand, it's important for y'all youngins. I can't really. I'm not speaking on necessarily Meek Mill's situation, but I'm just saying it's made to be an example. And a lot of these guys get locked up, and people feel like, well, I have to be out here in these streets, or I'm a star. I have to be out here selling drugs, or I'm a star. And a lot of people feel like that across America, especially as black men. But you don't have to. You can make the sacrifice. Like when I was at home, I was broke at my mama's house, just like the majority of y'all. I was in school. I didn't have that much money. I took what I had, which was this, and I went out and made some money. You feel me? It was days I was broke. You know, it was days when I wasn't rolling, but, you know, I got my own spot, own vehicle. I pay my own bills. I got a decent job. I've been there for a few years by the grace of God, and I thank God. I wake up every day. I thank God. So I don't never complain going to work. I'll be like, some mornings I'll be wanting to, but I'll be like, because I could be still broke. I could still be in the position that you in, and it took a little longer. Like a lot of the guys that I knew that was selling drugs, whatever, they might have more money than me, but they can't leave the city. They can't leave the state. They can only stay in certain areas because they got warrants. Like, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you have money, it make you a prisoner if you a criminal. You feel me? So to all my youngins out there, look at Meek Mill's situation. You know what I'm saying? Look at his situation. If you know you're doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, you need to change that ASAP. Like it ain't no plan. It ain't no it ain't nothing to really. It ain't nothing, like I said, it ain't nothing to scoff at or whatever. I'm just saying, bro, like you gotta make a decision, and you gotta make the decision for yourself to be great. You gotta make sure that you making decisions that's going to positively impact you instead of negatively impact you. You feel me? You know, nobody wants to be broke. Nobody wants to be poor. Nobody wants to not have no fly ass female or just a female period. Nobody wants to be by themselves. Nobody wants to, feel like they're a failure. But, you trying to sell dope, or you out here, out here trying to be something that you're not. Or you out here endangering not just your life, but everybody else around you, including your loved ones, just to make $1. That ain't the move no more. It's too much money out here to be doing that. And it may take you some years. You might be homeless. You might be living at your mama house. You feel me? You might be broke. It's a lot of things that you might be right now, but that don't have to be your ending. That don't have to be that don't have to be the end all be all. You feel me? That don't have to be the end all be all for you unless you want it to be. You feel me? Unless you don't want to put yourself in an uncomfortable position, because they make it easier for make it easy for you to sell dope. They make it easy for you to play yourself. They make it easy for you to get out here in this system. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta, sometimes you gotta take the hard road, man. You gotta stay at your mama house and stack that money up. You're gonna have to stay at your mama house. You're gonna have to stay at your granny house. You're gonna have to, hell, even if you got a girl and say you follow a hard time, you gotta make sure you're doing what you can and standing up for your family and your kids, but you can't be out here in these streets though. You know what I'm saying? You can't be out here playing yourself and putting you, because life is gonna throw you curveballs. Like today, perfect example. It ain't a big deal, but I was supposed to do an interview today. My whole I was planning on that being the upload, and Breezy was gonna be on right now with me. But since the person that was supposed to be on the interview didn't come through, wasn't on time, came to the wrong place, didn't ask me, and it was my fault too. Because I assumed that person, knew what they were going, knew what they were doing and stuff like that. I dropped the ball too. So I could be upset, or I could just keep rolling. I think a lot of times when, in our community, the brothers that are raised up in our community are raised up to be emotional, and the sisters are raised up to be independent. So with that being said, you have sisters that come out of, they come out of school, they got everything that they need. They got all of the they got all the training skills, everything else like that, ready to go. They got a job coming out of high school. They got, they got all the scholarship money. They got all this stuff. And the brothers, we get caught up because, our mothers want a man, and they feel like, well, ain't nobody gonna take them seriously because they got a child. So, they pretty much essentially wait till you grow up so they can get somebody else, or maybe they got a boyfriend, or maybe whatever. But at the end of the day, they treat you like they little man. They can't make love to you, but they treat you like they little man. They dressing you up, they buying you clothes, they doing X, Y, and Z, but they never get you ready for life. And they never make sure that you are able to, some mothers make sure that their kids have good clothes, good food. They try to take care of them, but they can't show you how to be a man. You got to learn how to be a man on your own. Maybe you had people in your life that, were good examples, but by and large, you still learn how to be a man on your own. So when you get to that, big Killzown, you know what I'm saying? Killzown, listen to what I'm saying, man. When you get to that point where you feel like all the hope is lost and I got to go sell this dope, remember Meek Mill. You feel me? Remember all the other brothers that the TKs, LA Foes, all these guys who, they had to fend for themselves because wasn't nobody else fending for them. Wasn't nobody else looking out for them. They had to look out for themselves. And once you start messing up in the system, you're gonna keep messing up in the system. And I can't say I feel sorry for them because that's the life they chose. It'd be different if they was framed or whatever, like they trying to get Meek Mill's sentence appealed or whatever. That judge made her decision. You feel me? That judge made her decision, and she ain't finna renege on it, period. Meek Mill ain't getting out of jail. He gonna serve his sentence however long they want him to serve in there. And when he get out, hopefully he can come back strong. Some people come out, like Boosie, T.I., they might be able to still get shows, but they may not have that upper momentum. Some people like Gucci, they gonna, that's gonna keep working. That's gonna do show after show after show after show. He might, take shows for a certain price, whatever. But he gonna work and make sure that when his album come out, it do numbers. He gonna work and make sure that his book come out, it's gonna do numbers. People want to know the story behind Gucci. You feel me? He gonna make sure. So it depends on if the public want to see you or they whatever they gonna do. Like with T.I. was facing so much because he had all them guns, so he had to change his image. And when it came time for him to make the music, people that knew him from Family Hustle, they looked at him as a family man. So he rapping about trapping and knocking chicks and all this other stuff. But really, he got a whole different persona, so it kind of shook everything up. Boosie was always street, and he never really was commercialized, but he got a fan base that he could just tour off with his old music. You know, he can still put new music out, do collaboration, stuff like that, but he don't really necessarily have to do no more than what he already doing. And he's still picking up bags and bags and bags and bags of money. So then with me, like, you know, Meek Mill has a Gucci Man effect where people want to see him win. He done did so much for the hood. He done took care of the hood, you know, but to avoid all of that, stay your black ass out of jail. Stay off them streets. You know, when you get some money, save like me. Shit, you know, when you young and you get some money and you act like you ain't never had shit, you gonna spend money. Like you gotta just some point you gotta say, yo, I'm not going out to the movies. I'm not buying no more games. I'm gonna eat in, or I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna just spend my money on working, saving money. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not doing nothing. You feel me? I'm going to work, save my money, and do better by my money. You feel me? Like you gotta, at some point, it's gotta happen. You know, it's gotta happen. You know, you gotta pay your bills early. You gotta pay your credit cards. You gotta pay your car note. You gotta pay your insurance. You gotta pay your rent. You gotta do all of this. You gotta do all of this, and you gotta make sure you're doing it on time. And you can't look to the left or the right. I know the scene of the rappers having a good time. They flashing money. They throwing money at the girls. They got all the fly females. They knocking all the fly chicks. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get them, you know, they got stretch marks. They don't look as good. You know what I'm saying? They doing all, doing all the stuff they doing or whatever on doing the stuff that you want to do. But, you know, understand that, you know, they may or may not be able to maintain that. You know, they may be getting money from the label. They might, whatever they doing, don't worry about it. Don't compare yourself to it. If you like their music, but don't be trying to emulate them, trying to catch up to them because they got some money and you want to get some money so you can get you some chicks or some girls or whatever. So, yeah, I'm off that. But brothers, I'm just saying, like, it's just time for us to do better and to move better, man, and learn how to deal and proceed in caution and proceed with logic instead of moving off of emotion, because everything is the way things are now. It's not gonna always be like that. So the next thing is we got the next guest character from Tekken is going to be Nocis from Final Fantasy 15. So I'm gonna skip to the battle footage right quick. It's showing it all. We got the stage or whatever. So kind of just give give y'all a little something or whatever here about that. So I actually like Final Fantasy 15. I didn't necessarily like the story at first in the beginning. I did like I like how they got this whole big universe for it. I like how I like the characters, the interactions, stuff like that. But like I said, the story was kind of like all over the place for me. So I liked it, but you know, it wasn't my top Final Fantasy game. And then of course they got Final Fantasy the City of NT is coming out. So, you know, let's get ready to jump off here. Like and I don't know nothing necessarily about that either. Like I see the game. This is, you know, let me show y'all real quick. If y'all hadn't seen that, they just dropped this. This is not just dropped. This is showed on TGS. So it's like, you know, this is the gameplay for that. I don't know about that, but I don't know about the game. But of course, you know, I guess they want to do that kind of crossover because, you know, this is getting ready to drop. So they rather, you know, they rather go ahead and drop them and put them out there because they doing these games or whatever. They dropping these games pretty much at the same time. Actually, NT is gonna come out, and then in February, Nocis is gonna come out for Tekken. So, I don't know, man. It's a lot of fight games coming out. Tekken 7 is like my top 3 is Tekken 7, Marvel, Infinite, and Injustice 2. I'm about to go ham on that because tomorrow Hellboy drops, and I gotta get my Justice League characters up to snuff because of the events Friday and everything else like that. So, what else, man? EA is facing a lot of backlash for Star Wars Battlefront 2, even though they made the adjustments or whatever. A lot of people are attacking and going hard on Star Wars Battlefront 2 because of the loot boxes and everything else like that. I just wonder, man, like I don't understand why I guess because it's Star Wars, because any other game they wouldn't even go as hard as trying to defend this. But I mean, loot boxes are here because people keep on buying them. People keep on, we've said this before, keep on buying them, keep on playing them. But I'm surprised that the EA devs or whatever, are even going back and forth with people on the internet or whatever, trying to debate or go back and forth with people. Man, people gonna have their opinions. People gonna have their opinions. They're gonna have their own theories, or they're gonna have their own say or whatever about the game. So when you have a game like this that's huge as this, with a huge property behind this, and Star Wars, like, you're gonna have backlash, you're gonna have haters, you're gonna have people that don't agree with what your moves and motives are. So you gotta just be ready for it, man. Like, again, life ain't fair, and you got a little minority of people who don't like loot boxes, but yet people still play loot boxes, and nobody, I just feel like if you are a grown person and you have control over yourself, you won't go out and you won't spend your money or waste your money trying to get something out of a loot box when they make it accessible for you to go and grind through the game and get it. You know what I'm saying? If you're playing the game anyway, it shouldn't even matter. But people make it a big deal because you have certain people that go and they pay to get the money, and it just becomes an issue, I feel like, of the haves and the have-nots. If you mad at a person for buying their way through the game, and you already know that you're more skillful, or you actually want to play the game, like, you may have the money too, but you playing the game, and if you're winning or if you're still having a good time, you may encounter these people every now and then, and they actually went to make the effort to do it, but to change it, but people still gonna be mad regardless. People are always mad about something, and you can howl at the moon, but at the end of the day, these companies are out here to make money. So when you understand how the system is and whatever, you can change it by not supporting it. You can change it, you can speak out about it, but at the end of the day, if they gonna still do it, it's time to find something else, or time to go support another game or support another artist or whatever, because you're gonna stay over here and be disappointed, and you're gonna still buy the game anyway. That ain't gonna stop, and even if you don't buy the game, people gonna still buy the game, still get it for their kids' Christmas, still gonna play it, still gonna be online, still gonna be playing the story mode, still gonna be enjoying the game, regardless of you and your protest. And even though thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that, I mean, it's not hundreds of thousands, but it's probably be a couple thousand, or maybe even, like I said, maybe a couple 100,000 people that are opposed to it. It's going to be even more that is just going to pay the money, pay to get the loot box and stuff like that. And people are going to gamble their money away. And it is what it is. And then, people saying that it might be we might have a crash, or we might go through a gaming Great Depression. I don't necessarily see that, because people still gonna want to play games and buy games. And I think when we had that first gaming depression, and the reason why gaming is where it is now, because we don't want to see it go away, and people aren't gonna want to see it go away. People gonna want to always do stuff and interact with their friends and everything else, especially these kids. So, when I was online on Call of Duty, all I heard was kids. Sometimes I hear grown folks or whatever, but the majority of the time it's kids, teenagers, people that that may or may not may or may not be playing these games, depending on which game it is. But it is what it is, man. I think that's it, man. Like, I don't really have that much to talk about. This just making this a quick show. Once again, man, stay out them streets, man. Stay out them streets. Do what you need to do, and make your money, man. And then you can't worry about the haters or who ain't gonna like it, because there's always gonna the people that ain't gonna like it, people that ain't gonna agree with you, people gonna hate on you. But if you're a boss, if you're a grinder, if you're a fighter, if you're a hustler, you're gonna make it through anyway. So this big Killzown, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, favorite, subscribe one time. Hit the notifications bell so y'all know when we upload and go live. We got the PayPal, Patreon, Poppin', Super Chat is on every live stream. Most of my videos live stream. I haven't did a classic view video in a minute. So this Beatz N BItz Podcast, man. I said I was gonna do it every day. I ain't never took a break. So this big Killzown, man. Shout out to all my subscribers. If y'all want interviews, hit me up at djKCMJ at gmail.com. djKCMJ at gmail.com. And I'm out. Peace.